Hello, Originals fans, and welcome to the Originals After Show here on the Stream.tv. I'm your host, Kate Durocher, and with me are Monique Gelineau and Alexia Pearl. Now, before we get started, we want everybody to get into the conversation, so tweet us at theoriginals_AS. Be sure to tell us what you think of what we're saying of this night's episode, everything in between. We just really want to get you guys involved. So, a lot happened, as always, but now we know that Lucien and Tristan have a plan to get rid of the Originals forever. What? Just what?
I'm glad that we finally know what the secret weapon is. I was dying to know what it is, and now we know what their plan is to lock them up in a box.
Yeah, and now we know that they are actually aligned together, that Tristan, Lucien, and Aurora are all, well, not so much Aurora, but that's what the boys think, that they're aligned, because for the longest time, we didn't know if Tristan and Lucien were on the same side. So now we come to find out all the stuff that the Michelsons brothers did to them by making them think that, you know, they were the original brothers, and Rebekah for 100 years now they want to, you know, return the favor in a negative way. So now we know.
But do we actually think that Lucien, Tristan, and Aurora could ever beat the Originals? I mean, let's be serious. There's just no way.
No, not at all.
I don't think so. Not a chance. They can't stand the Originals. And honestly, I'm shocked that Lucien and Tristan kind of sided together after what I saw in the past and what he did to his face. Was that shocking for you guys too?
Definitely. And I don't know, maybe in that 100 years of them, you know, on the road together, pretending that they're brothers made them, you know, come together a little bit. But this whole season so far, I thought they were rivals. For sure, so that was surprising for me.
Shocker. Yeah. Alrighty then, that's a twist in the story. But I mean, at least this is something that got Klaus and Elijah back together. That's a positive.
And that was fast. I mean, the episode started and we're like, great, there's gonna be like a Michelson brother fight, and then we're like, oh, there's blood on them and they aligned already. So, all right, that was quick, and something not expected from us. And I think a lot of our fans on Twitter too were blowing up and they were saying, oh man, looking forward to this fight. And a little short change there.
Fight. I'm glad that those two are okay though, because you know I love their brotherly dynamic duo, and it would have been interesting to see them fight because they are two really powerful dudes, but I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever good to have them divided. We need the two brothers. They're the main reason this entire show exists. They're the main reason the Originals still exist. So if we don't have them united, what do we have at this point? So it was great seeing them back together. Also, Elijah's plan, the way he compelled Lucien, Tristan, and Aurora, genius. I would have never thought of that myself.
Yeah, I mean, they escaped their father for so long, and I mean, we're like, oh yeah, they did a good job. He wasn't able to catch up with them for a while, and now we know the backstory of it, that Tristan, Lucien, and Aurora were disguising themselves as the original siblings, and, you know, the Originals got to be on the run for a while, so that was very smart of Elijah, definitely.
And it makes sense now why Lucien and Tristan have a lot of hate for Elijah, because, and Aurora, she also mentioned it, to be running away for 100 years because of what he did, that's kind of messed up.
Well, I think that Aurora's hate for Elijah is even more justified because of the way that he compelled her against Klaus. I totally understand why Aurora hates him.
Yeah.
That's completely justified. I would hate him too, absolutely.
Yeah, he takes away her one true love and, you know, forces them to be someone that they're not. So they're in an identity crisis for 100 years. I mean, yeah, that's pretty rough to deal with, especially once the compulsion wears off and they become themselves. I mean, that must have been shocking for them to discover who they'd really been being for that long.
Can you guys imagine going 100 years thinking you're somebody that you're not?
And then finding out one day that that's not who you are, that would be
the worst thing ever.
That's nuts, yeah. Definitely something to be justified in getting that over.
Absolutely. But then, so how exactly did it work to where it kept Michael away from them? You kind of talked about why you think that the compulsion worked and how it kept them safe from Michael, but I don't really understand.
Yeah, well, obviously, their father, Michael Michelson, is going to know what his children look like, but I was thinking that, especially in this, you know, in that day and age before, you know, technology and cell phones and everything, that was all word of mouth. So they were probably, maybe Elijah within the compulsion told them to say, like, wherever CD you run to, make sure to tell people your name and make sure to, you know, tell them where you are. And then probably the Originals were far off in a different direction. That was my thought of how he kept them on the run and kept their father away from the Originals.
So basically, Michael Michelson was on a goose hunt. Just
yeah,
He didn't know what he was doing. He was chasing the wrong people for 100 years too, so he must have been extremely pissed off.
It's kind of funny if you think about it. Like, that's the best type of revenge on him.
It is.
It's great.
Totally.
But so obviously Elijah compelled Aurora to be Rebekah, but who did he compel the other two to be? He talked so fast when he was explaining that I didn't catch it.
So Tristan was compelled to be Elijah, and then Lucian was compelled to be Klaus, I believe. And so, yeah, so Lucian and Tristan were buddies, I guess. They were pretending to be brothers. Within the compulsion, did that hate still exist there? Or, I don't know. Was there brotherly love that formed? I don't know.
I think it'd be cool if they did some flashbacks on those
see
three
how they
during
acted?
the 100 years. Yeah, to see like what was going through their minds, what they were doing, how Michael was following them. That'd be like a cool little episode for them to do.
I think they're going to do that because, I mean, we have to see that. That's going to be really interesting. Yeah.
Now, a big part of this episode was all about Klaus trying to figure out if Aurora was actually on his side or not. At the end, it's a little unclear as to whose side she's on. What do you guys feel about this?
I think kind of that she's on his side just because after what Klaus showed her, the paintings and, you know, the love seemed pretty genuine between those two. I know a lot of Camille fans are not going to like that, but I think that she's really on Klaus's side.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she did love him originally, and I don't know if all that love is still there, but I think she definitely likes the attention. She likes to be treated well, she likes to be wooed, and she likes to have that power, and I think she's the one that holds the most power over Klaus at this point, because we saw in the end, she said, you know, come back to bed, but underlying that, you know, she says that she has Rebekah. So basically, I feel like that was, you know, the first step in telling Klaus what to do.
So what do you think of Aurora's plan to keep Rebekah's body? Do you think it's actually going to work, or it's going to backfire like half the things in the show do?
I think it's going to work in the sense that she's gonna protect Rebekah. Of course, that's who sired her. But I don't know what's going to happen with Tristan and Lucian. That's my only concern because those two seem a little bit crazy and they have some really big plans. So I don't know if she's going to be able to do it with the help of the originals. She can do it.
Definitely, with the help of the original, she can, but she's basically going to turn all of Tristan's sire line and all of Lucian's sire line against her sire line. So, yeah, like you said, I think the only way she'll be able to do it is with the help of the originals, because now, you know, we had all the bottom sire lines, you know, like under the originals that were kind of pinning, you know, that were kind of coming together, and she totally destroyed that. So now maybe it is a sire line war that she started.
It was kind of genius of her, though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I didn't see that coming at all. So when she was saying that at the end, I was like, oh, okay, props to you. I see your plan working out. So smart.
Yeah, and it's always Klaus that's, you know, one step ahead of the game, and now it's his girlfriend who's one step ahead of the game. So it's like, okay, kind of see what you see in her. She's smart. She's cunning.
Are you calling her his girlfriend? What?
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that.
His interest right now.
Do you think that if Cami came back in the picture more, though, that he'd go back to her? Or is it all about Aurora now?
After this episode, I think that Cami and the detective might hit it off. And I'm a Camille fan, but I'm also a Caroline fan. Is that how you say Caroline? Klaus and Caroline. Anyways, I think that Cami and the detective, you know, might hit off because now that he's experienced that whole vampire side, that whole world, and, you know, they're the only ones within that supernatural world that can kind of get each other because they're the only humans that interact with them. So I think that that's going to be a huge bond that puts them together if Lucian's compulsion doesn't, you know, kill him mentally first.
Yeah, and if Lucian's compulsion works, then he's going to forget everything that he just learned about Cami and what happened to her family. So will they actually have that bond if the compulsion works?
I think that Cami's going to find a way to get Klaus to break that compulsion because Cami is such a good person. She's not going to want to see somebody get destroyed based off of something that Lucian says to them. So I think Cami will find a way.
I'm with you, Monique, on this one, that the detective and Cami are going to make it together. I mean, they are both the human ones, and Klaus is kind of leaning towards Aurora right now, so the only way that I see Cami going is for the detective.
I love how Cami used the dark object against Lucian in that scene to protect the detective.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, Cami, you're a genius.
She's really smart.
She
She
is.
knows what she's doing.
She really
I love
is.
that about her.
If there was to be anybody who had to be in a supernatural world and try to hold their own, Cami's the girl to do it.
Definitely.
Now, something we're all excited for, Rebekah is finally back.
Yay.
That's literally what all three of us did when we saw Rebekah back. We started cheering
Like,
in the room.
Yeah.
It's clearly by far all of our favorites. So what is it like for you guys having Rebekah back now?
They were toying with us. They were like, that was scary for me in the beginning. First, like, she comes back, she's in her witch body, and then Aya kills her. I hate Aya right now, by the way. And we're like, oh my gosh, okay, so this means the vampire Rebekah's coming back. I guess that's a good thing. She comes back, we love it, and then she's staked at the end by Aya, who I still dislike, you know? And they were just toying with me in this episode, back and forth. I mean, I was like, yay, Rebekah's here. Oh, wait, is she? Oh, she's back. Oh, no, she's not. So, I don't know.
And the poor girl, I mean, all she's trying to do is bring her brother back, and every time she tries to, something goes bad. She never gets a break. She's either dying in one of her former bodies, or she just nothing works out for her.
I feel like every single after show we're always like, poor Rebekah, the poor girl. Like, she never catches a break. It's always one thing after another for poor Rebekah, and all she does is have the best intentions. It's sad.
Yeah, I feel like she's always a pawn. She's, you know, because we can only assume that Aya and the Strix are now going to bring Rebekah back. Oh, wait. Well, they thought so. Well, before Aurora captured her, I thought that Rebekah was just going to be used as a bargaining chip yet again, which always happens to her. So, I mean, yeah, Rebekah's staked in a coffin. What else is new? But it sucks.
And it seems like Freya's going to be the next one that's going to kind of have the problems that Rebekah was going through. You see her, she's always trying to help everybody, and she's always suffering too.
But how much did you love the scene where Freya came in and protected Rebekah? I loved it. Like, yes.
Rebekah finally needs a sister.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's had to deal with these boys way too long. So I'm glad that Freya's in this season for sure.
I agree, because Rebekah's had like Hayley, and she's had like girls on her side before, but nobody who's like as loyal to her as Freya is obviously going to be now. So I love that we have the sisters instead of just the Michelson brothers now.
I love it when Rebekah says, us girls gotta stick together. She's right.
Once again, we're all for the girl power.
Yes.
As you guys can see. This is what happens when you have 3 girl hoes. Sorry, guys. Also, but how sad at the same time was it when we saw that Freya couldn't protect Rebekah in the end?
Oh my God, that was
heartbreaking.
really, I was like, okay, she can do it because she has a lot of powers, but then you see that other witch, she had some type of, I don't know, it was like a curse or it was her room, so she did something where she was helpless.
Do you think that it's just in that room, or do you think that witch is more powerful than Freya?
I think it was just in that room because Freya has she's really skilled. Like when I saw her go into that room with Elijah and kill all those vampires, she's strong.
And when Freya went into that room, the first thing that she did was she scanned around, and it looked like crabs. Did those things look like little crab things to you? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was just me. But yeah, she looked around, she saw those things placed at each corner of the room, and obviously in that moment, Freya knew, hey, something's up, because she told Rebekah, we got to get out of here. So I think you're right. I agree with you that it was just in that room. That witch placed something around so that only she's the one who had control of it. And yeah, Freya's face in that moment was devastating because when that other witch removed Freya and took her back to like the Michelson's place, she didn't know if Rebekah was going to be staked permanently or if that was just, you know, something to put her to sleep. So I don't think even, you know, the siblings know what Rebekah's situation is right now.
I don't either, but it was so sweet seeing Freya immediately spring up into action when she finally came to and start trying to find Rebekah. Like, literally head up, look for Rebekah. That's always comforting. Yeah.
I think that they know, well, Klaus at least knows where Rebekah is. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, maybe they think she's dead. But obviously Rebekah's not going to be dead if Aurora's alive and well.
Right.
Now, for people who didn't catch it, what exactly was Aya's plan to lure Rebekah back in? How did that all work?
I think she's just Tristan's minion. She's doing whatever he says, and that's all she's doing, really.
And I think that she might want to be like head of the Strix. I think that, you know, she sees that maybe Tristan is not, because she's doing all of Tristan's dirty work, so she is ultimately going to be the one that people are answering to because he's on a higher level than her, so everyone's coming to her. And I think that people are going to start seeing her as more of the head than him. And, you know, maybe if we get Tristan out of the way and Lucian, I think that she's still going to be a very huge problem for the originals.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that. Because honestly, like, what does Tristan do? We haven't really seen him do anything.
Yeah, it's always other people doing his stuff.
It's always Aya. You're totally right. I didn't even think about that. I think she'd actually be really good as a leader of the Strix. As much as I hate them, like, she's a badass, so I think she'd be good at it. Not that I want her to be, of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she overthrows Lucian and Tristan, because when I saw her fight with Rebekah, her confidence is really, really up there.
Well, she almost beat Rebekah. Nobody beats Rebekah ever.
No, yeah, that's so true.
Unheard of.
That's surprising.
Now, Shinmin. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Who is he? Why is he so dangerous? Why is he so powerful? I need some answers here.
Yeah, I don't think we got enough backstory because they called him like the Red Death, Red Sorrow. So he already had that title, Elijah said, before he became a vampire. So basically he was saying he was this dangerous person before he had supernatural powers, and now he's going to be even worse. But I mean, Elijah took him down super easily. But I think Hayley and Marcel were a little stupid to take him on alone. And I'm so glad Elijah showed up.
Elijah always shows up.
Especially when it's for Hayley.
Just in the nick of time. There's Elijah. I need Elijah as a brother or love interest. That'd be okay.
You're right, Kate. I mean, I love Elijah, and he's always there to save the day. I mean, that moment where his hand was in Hayley's heart and Marcel's at the same time, I was like, what's going to happen? And of course, Elijah comes in, saves the day.
Why do we even question it, really?
Why?
We should just know, no matter what happens, Elijah will be there. Yeah. Especially when little baby Hope is now in the picture. Like, nothing will stand in the way of Elijah protecting Hayley anymore. Yeah. Nothing.
And I'm so glad that Elijah questioned him, because all of these episodes, we always have all these questions and nothing really seems to get answered until later, the following episodes. And this was the one episode where Elijah asked questions and he got answers. And I was so happy. I'm like, things are coming out. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And the Red Sorrow, Red Death, told Elijah that they want Davina. The Strix want Davina. So that's new, and Davina has... I mean, it just seems that she just got her life together with a coven and things are starting to look up, and now they're not. So
now there's a whole new threat coming against Davina, but I think she can handle it better this time now that she's kind of got everything figured out with who she's trying to be and not try and copy the previous regent. So I have faith in her.
Yeah, Davina's got it under control, I think. From this point on, she should anyway, but what do the Strix want with her?
To unlock the curse or something.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed her powers and her witch powers to put the curse on the Michelsons to keep them in that one place. So they can be out of everyone's hair, which none of us want. So hopefully that doesn't go through.
Of course, always the witches get used to do their work, their dirty work.
I know, and how are the witches going to react to working with the originals again or aligning with Klaus? I mean, Davina's going to have to try and convince them and, the witch elder spirits to align with the originals again. And I mean, that can't be easy for her,
Yeah, that's probably not going to work out too well. But just like Rebekah, poor Davina's being used as a pawn once again. We keep seeing all the female characters being used as pawns. It's not okay.
Even Aya, in a way, is kind of, she's being used by Tristan. When is the woman going to, be the one that's using them as pawns? I'm just curious.
Basically Aurora.
Yeah.
She's the one in this episode that came out and was like, oh yeah, I used my sire vampires and I captured Rebekah. I'm like, okay, someone's taking initiative. Good job.
She's all, come back to bed, Klaus. Listen to mommy.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right. But speaking of Aurora, first of all, I love her red hair. I think it's so pretty. Second of all, I love watching her compel people to get what she wants, like the necklace, the emerald necklace in the first couple scenes. Props to her, really. If I had those powers, I would use them.
She's adorable when she does it, too. I know that a lot of people are like, she's crazy, whatever, but she's so cute and she's pretty. And when she did that, she just smiles so innocently, and she's clever.
She really is, and she's also so clever in the way she handles Klaus. Like, she's so manipulative. It's so clear to see, like, she knows what she's doing and knows how to get what she wants.
Definitely, and that's why I don't know where she stands. Like, she's so good at, in the situations with her and Klaus, you see her eyes watering up, you see her caring about the fact that he loved her for this long, but underneath that, like, I still don't know what her motives are, to be honest. Like, I feel like she has this huge mask on, she has everybody fooled, so I'm so curious to know, like, what her actual intentions are. If she wants to be with Klaus, or if she just wants power over Tristan and Lucian, and she wants to be top dog, or she wants the most power, because she seemed to be happy that she had power over Klaus in that moment at the end of this episode. So maybe power is what she's actually after.
And she'd probably be able to get it pretty easily. So far, she has been. Everybody, tweet us your questions on whether you think that Aurora can be trusted or not at @theoriginals_AS. And don't go anywhere, because we will be right back with all of your fan questions next.
just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it.
That was freaking
How
love
did I not figure it out?
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah?
I was like,
Good. How did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way in the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's going to happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world.
Another beautiful summer at the stream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Originals After Show. Once again, I'm your host Kate Durocher with Monique Gelineau and Alexia Pearl. Now, speaking of Alexia, she has some great Twitter shoutouts for us. Go ahead, Alexia.
First one is by Michelle Kovu. So Cami spending Thanksgiving alone and kidnapped with knowing her fate. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Lucian's gonna do that again to her?
I don't think so. I think he got what he wanted out of Cami, so what else could he possibly use her for? I don't foresee him coming after Cami that much more after this.
Yeah, he basically, wanted her to find, that relic, that medallion. I'm honestly surprised that he didn't dispose of, no one can dispose of Cami. I don't think the writers would do that. But I'm surprised that he let the detective live. That was really surprising to me. But I think he's definitely done with Cami and done with the detective. He has what he wants, so.
I agree. I think that he's done with torturing Camille with all that stuff. But unless he needs another trinket or gadget later on, I don't see him picking on her anytime soon. Dina 1568. Should Klaus trust Aurora?
That is the question of the night. No, I say no. I don't think so. I think she's too manipulative to be trusted. I think she knows how to get what she wanted, like I said, and I just don't foresee her actually having Klaus's interests at heart. I think she only really cares about herself.
And she had this whole plan to get Rebekah's body, but she didn't let Klaus in on it. So that also makes me think that, like I said before, that she's just after the power. Because wouldn't you want to share it with your significant other? Like, hey, love, I'm going to save your sister, don't worry. But she lets him, go through that whole torture of, oh my gosh, Rebekah's kidnapped. And she's like, oh no, I got it. So I think she's in it for the power.
It's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I think that, I don't know, she saved Rebekah, so that's a plus right there, but she is a bit crazy and off her rockers, what she did at that camp and killed off everybody. So I don't know where I stand with her. She loves Klaus, it seems like, but she's just bipolar. I don't know.
Definitely. And we also have our YouTube live stream comments. Go ahead, Monique.
Hey, so on YouTube, the live chat goes up even before we go live on Thursdays, so you guys can start posting up then. We also have a blog that's attached to our YouTube website as well, so if you go on there, you'll be able to find it. So our live chat, Chadwick Maisie says, so happy to get some Rebekah. Was seriously shocked to see Rebekah 2.0 be killed so quickly. So Rebekah 2.0 being her witch body. That shocked me too. They killed her off so fast.
Yeah, Chadwick, we agree with you. What was that? We finally got our girl back and now she's gone? No, that's not chill.
Super fast. I did not expect that. I didn't even see that coming. What was she in there, just for a few minutes and gone? She's not going to come back anymore.
CW writers, we don't like this. We want more Rebekah. Listen to us.
And then we have Mika Malice say, Freya may be the smartest sibling. I'm thinking I agree.
Yeah.
Klaus always has a plan, and everyone on Twitter and everyone's tweeting us saying, Klaus has a plan, stuff's going on. But I think that he needs to take a little note from Freya, because Freya also likes including people. And when Klaus has plans, he leaves other people in the dark, so.
Yeah, Freya's way better at actually executing the plans instead of just having them. So you kind of need step 2, Klaus. You need to execute, not just create these plans.
Freya's kind of calm, the cool, calm, collected one. So, yeah, I agree. They should kind of take some notes from her. do some yoga or something.
Go take some tequila shots like she did in the other episode. Maybe,
Right.
maybe that's what's helping her. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Originals After Show. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel at thestream.tv and tune in next week for even more crazy excitement.
For more of the Originals After Show,
Click that button and subscribe to thestream.tv.